Right now we're in the lower west wing of the university, coming towards the geography lab and a key stewardship center. I'd just like to point out some beautiful posters which have recently been put up. And these are by students of Dr. Paulette Steeves, showing Turtle Island and a number of sites of great significance. And we're really honored to have these hanging here in the hallway, and next stop will be the lab. This is the entrance to the Dr. Robert Ewing Geography Lab and a key stewardship center. This is a really exciting new development for our program. We relatively recently moved down to this new location. We used to be on the second floor in the central part of the university. Now we've moved to this area, which is actually gives us a little bit more space. And we were able to create this beautiful lab in partnership with the National Aboriginal Lands Managers Association. They enabled us to create more of a digital classroom here. And the name of the lab also recognizes Dr. Robert or Bob Ewing, who was the professor of geography here at Algoma University and was also the dean of Algoma University for some time, a really important part of the initial foundations of this institution. I'd like to welcome you inside the lab. We have a number of points of interest which I'll show. So as I mentioned previously, it's been fully outfitted as a so-called smart classroom. So we have screens on both sides of the room. We have cameras actually on both sides of the room. We have a microphone. We have projectors, actually 3 on the ceiling here. Plus the podium has its own speaker system, and there's a computer in there. So we're able to do small, like relatively smaller type classes in this lab. And we have an area for computers, so we can have some students working at the computers here as well. Going towards the back, our geography and geology lab has a model of a volcano, very important. And we also have a kayak stored. We actually have 3 kayaks, which we use for our island geomatics research project at the moment. So one's actually just in the process of coming back here. And what else can I point out? Here's Dr. Robert Ewing, which the lab is named for. And also we have quite a large rock collection. Not all of it is visible because some is stored below the tables, but we have a display here to pique interest. We have a storage area at the back. In these cupboards here are some maps, archival maps that we have for the area and also for other areas. And I think that pretty much wraps up the tour. This is one of the computer labs, an example that's in the lower level of the university. These were just recently constructed in the past 2 years. And this is just one of the classrooms, so it's fully outfitted with computers, screens, devices, and there's quite an ample space. We used to have these on the second floor, but it's all been redesigned in this lower level of the university. I'd like to welcome you to EW 206. This is one of the classrooms we have in the East Wing of the university. The reason we're showing you this classroom is we've used this quite frequently for our in-person land stewardship courses and other courses as well. The students like this because it's not too big. It usually fits the size of the class, so 30 to 35 students. And we have some nice windows here. And in the past, students have put up posters on the walls around the classroom, so it's really had a good environment here. I'd like to welcome you to East Wing 205, also known as the Doc Brown Lounge. This is quite an important place at the university. It actually used to be the library a long time ago until it was reconfigured as a very large meeting room. We actually have had Senate meetings in here up until recently for in-person get-togethers. And we've also held some of the land stewardship in-person courses in this room, and it is a wonderful venue because of the vista, the space, and the atmosphere. This is a path to the east of the campus. It's actually, we're in a maple sugar grove right now, and we actually make maple sugar and maple syrup on the campus. It actually happens here, and they're able to tap the trees, and they have special process and ceremony as part of it. This path goes all along up to the end of the property at the other end in the north, and we often take nature walks through here as part of courses. We've had knowledge holders take students on tours through here to look at all the vegetation and trees and wildlife and interpret it from an Anishinaabe lens. This is an example of one of our new raised garden beds. This is a test model, one of two, and this is a collaborative project we're working on to create more growing space at the university. It's a collaboration between the Lake Superior Living Labs Network, academic departments, Algoma University Student Union, administration, as well as other partners, external partners. Here we are in December at the People's Garden. Not exactly a lot of green available here, but this is an active venture at the university. It's been in place for over a decade, and it's collaborative with a number of groups and people, including community partners, the student union, faculty members, students, all working on growing together, including deciding what to grow, growing it, and harvesting it. This is an example of a side research project that we're undertaking in coordination with the People's Garden and the Lake Superior Living Labs Network. What we're trying to do here is do winter gardening. So we've actually have plants behind the plastic that we're growing throughout the winter. We tried this one season before, but now we're trying it a second time.